morning. All right. So
I can give myself a beard. Oh,
we are just now getting started on our Murder in 1985 mystery game for our 2022 Coastal Magic Convention. We did a murder mystery night a couple years ago, and it was fantastic. And it was a jazz club 1920s themed murder mystery, and it was a blast. So we got some of the crew back together again and are doing a Murder in 1985 for tonight. And our authors will be playing the parts of the people involved in the murder mysteries. And our readers are all going to be investigating the crime that happened in 1985 and trying to figure out who done it. So I'm going to give us just another minute or two. We are live so that people on Facebook who want to watch can do so. If you want to participate, their link is posted a couple of times. So you are welcome to join us. I'm going to be watching for people who are joining so that we can get everybody in who wants to be involved. If you don't want to, oh my gosh, now we got more people upside down. If you want to watch and don't want to be on screen, you are welcome to watch just on Facebook, and you can leave comments there. I'm going to be watching for comments in the Facebook posts, so I'll be happy to share those along as those come in. But if you want to be on screen with us, go ahead and click the Zoom link that is posted so we can get you in before we get started with our events of the evening. We're going to just quickly run through and let each of our participating members say hello and tell us who they are for the evening. So why don't we start with, what is that, Burkell Bonnet?
Bonet.
Yeah.
Bonet.
Like Lisa Bonet, 80s, all the names are plays on 80s characters.
Did I do that? Anyway.
Totally failed. I totally failed on that.
That's okay. It's all right. So anyway, I am an American television star, obviously.
Obviously.
I was born in San Francisco, California, to a musical theater and an opera singer, a music teacher and opera singer. You know, zero talent on the singing though. Just trust me on that. Anyway, so, and I've been on a show called Matters of Family, of course. And so anyway, I'm here to help solve them. Something, right?
Right.
Something. I'm just here. I'm here. That's all I know. I did bring the Aquanet.
Cool.
That is what we need. Okay. All right, next.
Fantastic. Okay. So let's see here. Pat Capone.
Hi guys. I imagine that there's like that little thing that scrolls across the bottom of the screen that says that the part of Pat Capone will now be played by Violet Howe, because unfortunately Tigris had a little situation. She's not gonna be able to be here. So instead of being Ice Cream Cool Beans, which I thought was a really cool name, I am now going to be Pat Capone. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. I was born in Boston, Massachusetts, hence the very, really strong Boston accent that I have. I was born to Italian immigrant parents, hence the obvious Italian, ethnicity I have. I joined a pickpocketing ring called the Lifters and quickly rose to being their leader by the time I was 15. My parents moved the family to Miami, where I started working for the mob as a courier, as one does. By the time I was 20, I was a maid mobster who rose to the rank of capo, I'm assuming, so. By my 25th birthday. Not agreeing with the way the mob was being run, I orchestrated a hostile takeover and took over as crime boss by the time I was 30.
Yeah.
Today, I have used the mob's connections to become one of the most famous pop sensations with nonstop chart-topping hits. Now, many people say that maybe I intimidated my way to the top of the entertainment industry. I don't really care. I don't mind saying that. After about probably half of those who have said it might have gone missing. They might have disappeared after saying it, but really, truly, I don't care that they said it. So there you go. Pat Capone, folks.
Nice. And how about Ozone?
That's me. My name is Ozone Gibson. I am obviously a breakdancing pop star. I was born in Wilmington, California, and I'm the youngest of 5 siblings. In junior high, I was part of a 10-person dance troupe. I won talent and dance competitions across the nation. I'm so talented. I was one of the first breakdancers. I competed individually in underground clubs, obviously, winning every time because for my innovative popping, boogaloo, and robot dance moves, which I will not be on display tonight. As an older teen, as I got older, I would go to Redondo Beach as a street performer. I'd earn money from tips. Some say that I was the one who taught a certain famous pop star a certain moonwalk dance move. I'm just saying that. I was featured in a number of music videos, and then I released a pop song, my first one, and I did a little tour of the nation's shopping malls. Massive fame. I was amazing. I topped the charts, made it big with the song Eclectic Youth, which some of y'all might have heard of, until, and I hate to bring this up, but suddenly Pat Capone showed up on the scene with some kind of, newest release, which, most people believe, shouldn't have happened. I personally, I have this belief that the mob owns the entertainment industry, because obviously Pat's song is like not even close to as good as mine. But that's all I'm going to say for now.
All right. Fantastic. And then how about Andy Ringwald?
Oh, I mean, like, you guys already know who I am. I mean, I also, like Pat Capone, come from Boston, but I eventually ended up in Los Angeles. I mean, which of course is where I started my Hollywood career. My mother was famous, but I'm more famous. You probably remember me from movies like Nightmare on Hickory Lane. And I was, of course, one of the leading members of the Hollywood Brat Pack. We starred in a lot of movies together, like Elmer's Fire and The Lunch Club. I know you've seen it like probably like 100 times, right? Yeah, and that movie that like just came out a couple years ago, the extraterrestrial alien. Yeah, the cute, like I was supposed to be in that, but I had to turn it down for personal reasons. So I'm sure you've all heard of me. We can do autographs later if you like.
Very cool. Very cool. All right, Lou Carlisle.
Hello, I am Lou Carlisle, and I was a nerdy computer major and a member of the Lambda Pi organization at my local university. For many years, I aspired to be famous, an aspiring film star, rap artist. They just didn't recognize talent. That was the problem. So a lot of promises in the engineering field. Not too long ago, I stumbled across band members of the No-No while they were searching for a lead singer. I tried out and I got the job, and I quit college because I'm just that good. And so, yeah, I'm extremely nerdy. And let's see, what else do I want to tell you? I grew up with a single dad who was an NFL player. My mom died at birth because she couldn't get to the hospital in time, but that's okay. And so I am just absolutely famous and wonderful. And this is my dog, Bangles. We're happy to be here.
Very nice. Crocodile Baker.
Oh, right. I'm Croc, and I'm from Australia. Big country, doesn't matter where. You might have seen my my crocodile wrangling show. I like to wrestle them, kind of famous for it. But since me and my mother moved to Los Angeles, I have been, well, I'm sure many of you watch my televangelism. That's right. I'm the one that smacks them in the head and heals them. Really good at it. Been good at it for years now. Anybody needs a little healing afterwards, we could do that. I'm up for it. Yeah, so I'm in LA now, and listen, I know that there have been some rumors about financial difficulties. Don't believe what you hear. All right, I'm on the up and up.
Nice. And Elvirus.
I'm Elvirus. I was born in the UK. Obviously, I've lived in the United States long enough to lose my accent. Elvirus, I started singing on stage at the age of 3 when my mother signed me up for talent competitions. To absolutely no one's surprise, I won every contest without question and collected enough trophies and ribbons throughout childhood to fill an entire trophy room. I later joined the pop band Creation and released many chart-topping songs. I prefer working alone, so I broke off from the band and released a solo album, Salisbury Steak, that soon topped all of the charts. The album had the hit song Tack Hammer, which was recognized as a hit in over 30 countries. I realized that acting made me happier, so I set out a few minor acting gigs before getting a show I'm sure you have all seen, Elvirus of the Dark with RBC TV. It is a late night horror short film hour hosted by myself, dressed in a vampire costume. I prefer the life away from the musical stage and in front of the cameras of a television studio.
All right, very good. Well, thank you all for joining us here. We're here to celebrate Coca-Cola. Are we gonna play that or no?
Oh, yeah, we can.
Okay. We're gonna give you a little bit of information about why we've all gathered here tonight. So
Give me just a second.
hold one moment, please.
Well, here we are. I'm Detective Cagney Lacey of the LAPD. The ballroom doors are being guarded by the city's finest, so none of you can leave until we get this sorted out. Approximately 30 minutes ago, one of you pushed Martin McFly from a 13th floor window of the Carlton Glitz Hotel. He was pronounced dead at the scene, so this is now a homicide case. You will need to sort out the evidence while our crime lab works on the forensic evidence report. First, focus on motives. Who had the biggest reason to get Mr. McFly out of the picture? Was it for revenge, financial gain, power, or maybe we have a thrill killer here? Who knows? I'll check back with you shortly, and I hope to see some progress. Oh yeah, one more thing. Our team found a note written in some sort of code on Mr. McFly's desk. Why don't you all take a crack at deciphering it? You solve this case and we'll let you go home.
Should I read it? Just so you know.
Yes. And we're still on.
Okay, so remember back in the 80s when we were like playing with a cassette tape and you had to rewind it to hear what came before? So right now we're going to rewind and I'm going to read to you the video that should have played. So hold on one second. Here we go. It is 1985, and after losing market share to sweeter competitors, Coca-Cola has revised its classic formulation and named the new beverage Best Cola. The CEO, Martin McFly, is hosting a huge bash to celebrate the release and has invited the who's who of the entertainment industry to attend the party. With so many yes men fluttering around Mr. McFly, he's blinded to the reality that he is one of the most dreadful men in the world. He's stolen ideas, broken hearts, slashed egos, and even kidnapped the beloved pets of foes when it suited him. Alas, you are one of the 80s icons that received an exclusive invitation to this event, and Mr. McFly has wronged you in the past, but needs your fame to help launch Best Cola. It should be interesting to see how this all plays out. Now hit fast forward, and all of you who are investigators have joined the party, and we just got that phone message from that detective, and now we're back up to speed. So there you go. Yay! So now we do this one.
Hold, please.
It gives us a timeline, but the timeline's kind of like, yeah, okay.
I don't think we're supposed to do that one yet.
Okay.
Talk amongst yourselves. Be in character.
Okay.
I'm done with the accent, by the way. I just had to do it for a little while.
And it was brilliant.
Awesome.
It was terrible.
It was amazing.
I did it for my husband. He's like, you sound like Curtis Stone. Like, any of you watch the cooking channel all the time? Like,
You've got that.
love that guy.
I'm gonna give him that.
This
That's
is it.
this.
This is it.
Okay.
Sorry. I did too.
Okay. Yeah, we're professionals. Okay.
Professionals.
So, we did this one.
That is the audio recording.
Okay. All right. So, Andy, do you have anything you would like to share with us?
Yes.
Okay. I thought you were right.
I just want to make sure I do it right.
Sensed that you
This
had
is round one, right?
yes.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. I just want to make sure. Martin McFly. Okay. So years ago, when my family moved to Los Angeles, Martin hired my dad, Chuck, as an advertising executive. Now, my dad, he is one of the best ad agents in the country. He was in charge of the Super Bowl commercials, which have been stellar ever since he was hired. Martin kept my father away from our family, even when my mom was ill. During that time, I had to take off from my career and pass on big movie roles that could have launched my fame even higher. I think that's why I can't get a good role now. I mean, I told you I missed out on the extraterrestrial alien, right? So I'm not only stereotyped as a nerd, but after passing on 25 roles with the top directors, they won't look my way anymore. I blame Martin McFly. I also didn't like Martin's son. He bullied me in high school, and I will never forgive him for that. So here we all are, locked inside of this beautiful ballroom of the Carlton Glitz Hotel as murder suspects. This party was fun over the last hour, but I guess it's over now, huh? Let's find this killer before we're all in the tabloids tomorrow, huh?
Okay. So,
With the top directors, they won't look my way anymore. I blame Martin McFly.
okay.
That was weird. Oh, that was some technical difficulty.
Okay. Well, speaking as Pat Capone, I would just like to say to this group that Martin had my beloved Patsy dog, and he had the nerve to provoke me through the newspapers. He stole my dog after the AKC championship 2 days ago, just stole my dog from my handler, who's now missing, by the way. And I gave that rat snake, Martin McFly, 48 hours to return my dog to Miami. Now, my guys are at Martin's property retrieving her as I speak. Did I whack Martin? Yeah, well, you guys know a crime boss would never have to get their hands dirty. Elvirus, do you have anything to say?
Yes. Martin McFly was a despicable human being. Out of nowhere, he pulled the Coca-Cola sponsorship from my show, and they had the most significant piece of the advertising pie for the Elvirus of the Dark late night programming. I think Martin pulled the sponsorship because I was at the Rocco's Cola benefit for sea turtles and was photographed with his neighbor that he's been feuding with for decades. I think that's no reason to pull advertising dollars from my show. It was so petty. My show will likely be canceled now that he did that if I don't find another big sponsor.
All right.
Okay.
All right, Crocodile Baker, do you have anything to tell us?
Oh, do I ever? All right. You could say that I despise Martin more than anything in the world. Martin went on a stupid show that nobody watches and said I was a scam artist. That interview is tanking my rankings right now. But I have high hopes it'll bounce right back after people realize Martin's a liar. I hired a publicist to straighten out my reputation and my accent, so I'll show Martin he has no real power to harm anyone.
All right. Lou, do you have anything you'd like to add?
Absolutely. So, yeah, Martin McFly, he was my terrible uncle and the only family member that I had left. Yeah, right. So good for that. Uncle Martin, he was hateful and he wanted the worst for me. And he probably because my mother, who is his sister, and he never got along a day in their lives. My mother died at my birth, which was probably his fault. So I am unsure of why I had to carry the burden of their tumultuous relationship, but I did. My father died in jail because of Martin. And well, Martin never helped me, not even once. If anything, he berated me and he tried to keep me down. My fame and fortune was a bane of his existence, which I took pleasure in every day. So, you say that, I think it's obvious that the mobster in the room killed him. I see you. I see you. And, that's what mobsters do. They kill whoever gets in their way. And I'm quite sure that Martin was in Pat's way. And so, Alex Green, whoever that is, is a friend to me. If they were causing strife in my uncle's stupid life, I'm all about that. Me and Bengals, we're all for that. That's all I have to say.
Ozone, do you have anything to add?
I mean, Martin was just like an awful person, like inside and out, right? And he also he didn't know how to drive. Okay, I'm just gonna say that.
That's
yeah,
true.
He right?
Mhm.
And he threatened to hire someone to kill me. So obviously not a good person at all. But like he had so many enemies. I don't know, it's not like I'm like his number one foe or whatever, but I mean, he was a jerk, just a horrible person. I think he could have killed himself for being such a horrible person. But so I think we should just say that and see if we just go home.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I honestly, personally, I think Crocodile Baker did this. I mean, Croc's a croc, just like the rat Martin said on that show. That's all I'm saying. I mean, I don't know. Lou, do you have any opinion on? You already said you think I did this.
Yes, I know you did. Just admit it.
Seriously, Elvira, please tell me.
I agree, Lou. I agree.
Lou.
I think that Lou Carlisle must have done this. I mean, Lou holds unbelievable grudges. I've been afraid of Lou trying to get revenge on me for spilling barbecue sauce on Lou's white suit at the Grandy Awards. Lou has this look, you see, it's frightening. And not much frightens me.
Andy, what do you think? Who do you think did it?
Well, I mean, you guys have seen Elvira's show. Like, she's all about the murdering people. And as you know, I was in that scary movie that I told you about earlier. I should know murderers when I see one. I think she did it.
Talentless hack.
Excuse me. You know what? I remember, I saw what you said about me in Rolling Pebble magazine. I did take a couple of bottles of water from your dressing room just because I thought they forgot them in mine. I didn't steal from you, you weird gothy murderer person. I think she.
Oh, I kind of agree a little bit too, actually. But Crocodile, what do you think? I mean, your name.
It was definitely Pat. I mean, Pat's a gangster. Just saying. Like, I mean, what more do you need? It's right there.
I just want to say, I think you're radical and I'm a big fan of your music and I don't believe anything anyone's saying about you.
Thanks.
Whatever.
Ozone? Is it Ozone?
Ozone.
Yeah.
What?
You've got to have an opinion on this. You have to. Who do you think?
I think he killed himself. I think he realized he's a terrible person and he just jumped. He had a breaking point. We all have them, right?
Right.
So I say investigation over. Let's go home.
I feel like you're really quick to assume that he killed himself. I mean, I feel
He's
like
a terrible person.
Yeah, but I feel like he's so terrible that he just wants to inflict himself on the world for as long as possible. He's the actual worst.
I don't know. I mean, he obviously is the worst, but I don't know. That's what I think.
All right, so I heard that there was a note found on Martin's desk. It would be great if we could all see that note, because I'm sure it's probably going to clear me, like whatever it is. So I would really like for someone to pull up that note and show it to us, because that would be
I'm on it.
awesome. Oh, wow, look, someone pulled it up and showed it to us.
It's amazing.
That's awesome.
Ta-da!
So this obviously to me looks like a jokester that might be blackmailing Martin for like 10K or something along those lines. I mean, Martin had so many enemies. So this personally does not shock me at all. I mean, it's all a moot point. I really think we should skip over this. Honestly, I really think we should skip over this.
You're awfully quick to say that.
Well,
Well,
I mean,
I agree.
I agree with Pat. I don't think this is important.
Well, this note is signed by Alex Green. I don't know about you, but that sounds like a made up name to me.
I think Elvira sounds like
They're
a
a
made up.
friend to me. I'm glad they did it. So is Bang.
Well, whether it's a made up name or not, whoever did it is obviously the one who committed the murder, right? Because
Well,
why
I mean-
else would they send a note?
yeah, well, I mean, that's if you just buy into this note even being valid. I mean, I really, honestly, I think it was just a prankster. I don't think it's even, I mean, who knows who wrote this? Like, really, seriously, he could have found this. He could have gone to McDonald's for lunch and this was laying on the table. We don't even know that. It's not even
Really?
Mr. Martin.
That sounds like something a murderer would say.
How many murderers do you know that hang out at McDonald's? I mean, seriously, really?
I mean, probably a lot.
Yeah, maybe so.
I'm just
I mean,
saying.
I don't know about you guys, but like, I am not surprised that someone was messing with Martin like this. I think it's funny, honestly. I mean, like, he had more enemies than friends, right? So that doesn't surprise me at all.
So, Lou, what do you think?
Like I said, I whoever he is, I like him. He's a friend of mine, and I am glad that he caused strife in my uncle's life. And so is Bangles. He was in his sunglasses.
Well, I mean, it's true. Your uncle was a horrible person. So, yeah, that's fair.
Okay. So detectives that are here among us, would you like to ask us any questions? Ask the players any questions?
Don't all speak at once.
Who was the last to see Martin McFly?
Are we supposed to read round two? No.
Where are we getting these answers from?
Just if anybody has them, if anybody knows who's the last to see. I mean, I know like Martin took my dog 2 days ago. That was the last time I had anything to do with him. I mean, I have my associates there waiting for my dog, of course, but I haven't seen him for 2 days.
I haven't seen him since he was on that stupid show, bad mouthing my healing skills, which are valid. Thank you very much.
A slap doesn't heal.
I mean,
Hey,
can you go heal
Come
Martin?
a little closer. I'll show you.
So none of you are at the party then?
Yeah.
I'm confused.
But we didn't see him. He's dead.
Gotcha.
Went out the window.
I mean,
Gotcha.
obviously whoever killed him,
Defenestrated.
but you know,
Defenestrated.
Yeah,
So-
somebody saw him.
yeah, I didn't see him. I have no
I didn't see
idea.
him.
Really?
Mhm,
No.
mhm.
Andy, did you see him? You seen him?
No.
Okay. All right, just checking. All right. Okay.
Oh,
Jody, you're muted.
Jody's muted.
You're still
Sorry.
muted.
Still muted.
There you go.
Lou, you said you tried out for the lead singer of the No-Nos. Did somebody have to leave or die for you to get that position?
No,
Okay.
no.
Jody, what was your question?
So my question for Elvira is, so you said your show was tanking because he pulled his.
I didn't say it was tanking.
Down, girl, down. The question I have is, do you have more than one advertising exec campaign, or was this your only one? Come on, you got the
answer.
That's a great question.
Martin McFly was petty and he allowed his personal feelings to get in the way of business. He pulled the ads from my show. So now the show that I worked so hard to get in on the first place will probably get canceled unless a miracle happens. I'm glad he's gone, but I did not have the pleasure of shoving his rotten self out that window.
All right, guys, we've got another message from the detective. I am going to go play this. Give me just a second. Okay.
It's Detective Lacey again. You guys are not moving fast enough. It's going to be headlines at sunrise, and we need answers. Focus on the evidence. Revisit the motives. Make a timeline around the time of the murder. Whoever wasn't in the ballroom when he was pushed to his death is a prime suspect. The forensic report's being written up right now, and I'll have a copy to you shortly. Since time's critical, we want you to help us with the handwriting analysis. Someone cashed a $10,000 check from Martin's personal bank account this morning. We believe the person was using an alias of Alex Green as we did a background check, and Alex Green doesn't exist. Let's get this killer, folks. Good luck.
All right, guys. We are now going to run into round 2. So everybody playing, get your scripts ready.
Look, I just want to say, as far as motive, I mean, you know, my name has obviously been tossed out here, which my name gets tossed out all the time. Everybody wants to blame me for everything. Blame the mobster, blame the mobster. Okay, whatever. I had a million reasons to get rid of Martin, but not one to keep him alive. So, I mean, I don't know. You do the math. I'm just telling you, it wasn't me.
All right. Andy?
I mean, I feel like I just closed my window by accident. Oh no, there it is. Okay, I'm just so verklempt over Martin's death. Listen, I mean, I admit I wasn't a big fan of Martin McFly for many reasons. It's obviously his fault that my career stalled out. My father is unemployed because of him, because when my mother Alexandra was sick, he had to take days off to take care of her, and then Martin fired him. And then he let his son bully me back in high school, but that doesn't make me a killer. I mean, I may play one in the movies, but I mean,
Badly.
I guess, you know what? I've had enough of you, okay? Sorry.
Yeah, well,
I guess you know the reason we all had to give handwriting samples. I mean, but this is just a tangent. It probably has nothing to do with the murder. I mean, like, why would somebody be that obvious? We shouldn't be wasting our time on this like handwriting analysis thing. We should be getting back to the investigation.
We're gonna have to show that. Yes. Elvirus, I think you had a lot to say. Would you like to add to this conversation?
I already read my part for this.
We'll just go ahead and check Elvirus off next. How about Croc?
All right, so first of all, no offense, Andy, but I just want to say the teen movies is kind of played out. Like, you should really think about stepping up your game, doing something a little better, right?
It's the most true thing you've ever said, Croc.
Hey, I speak nothing but truth. All right. Okay. I see where you're going with that. Okay, look, it's true. I know you all think I'm a scam artist, but you're wrong.
I believe in you, Croc.
I heal folks by slapping them. This hand. I mean, it's this one actually, but anyway, it's all about technique and talent, and I have both. Martin thought I was a phony. He said so on a dumb TV show. He left my mother at the altar. So what? I have higher ratings.
What was the last part?
That was some interesting information.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. It was years ago.
Conveniently.
Yeah.
It was just 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's never really recovered from it either. It's
you would say maybe you wanted to settle that score?
hey, look, I don't need to settle any scores. I have the healing powers of the universe on my side. There is no way a man like that could harm me or my reputation. He did harm my mother, but I got her. I got her. All right.
Did you slap your mom to heal her too?
I have. Yeah.
All right. Lou, what do you know? What have you heard?
Well, I mean, I know you think that, yes, I hated my uncle, and yes, I had reasons, because he is responsible for my mother's death, because he didn't help her out when she called when I was being born, and I was born prematurely because of that. And yes, okay, I admit my father, he went to jail because he tried to kill Martin. But he only went to jail because Martin like paid off lawyers and different things to make sure my daddy went to jail. Yeah, he's responsible for my dad's death, but that does not mean that I killed him. And yes, technically I could inherit his fortune.
Oh.
But I'm already wealthy. I mean, hey, Bengals, man, we're wealthy. We don't need his money, and maybe you think it's revenge plot because of what he did to my mother and father. I could see that. I don't blame you for thinking it was me, but I didn't do it, and neither did Bengals. We didn't do it.
Ozone, I think you probably have a motive.
Okay, listen, I'll tell you, this is my whole like deal with Martin. Okay. I was driving, you know, my Ferrari, one of my 10 cars that I've got, right? And I was driving down Rodeo Drive, and Martin like completely blew a red light, pulled out in front of me, cut me off. I had to slam on the brakes to like keep from hitting him, right? He jumps out of his car, starts screaming at me that I was speeding. I was not speeding. I was not speeding. I'm a good driver, okay? But then like he threatened to hire someone to kill me. And I'm like, really? So then he like got back in his car, like drove off. So I was scared. I don't want to be killed. So I hired like a PI to like check him out and like see if he was really trying to like hire somebody to kill me. And they couldn't find anything. So it was just this whole big mess, right? And I mean, it sucked, but like if you think that I'd murder somebody over like a road rage incident, like I mean, you're more nuts than like I think that you could be. And you guys are nuts, by the way.
Can confirm he had road rage. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, big time.
Bad driver.
Terrible driver.
Well,
I'm so lucky my Ferrari is okay. I'll tell you what, it's my favorite one.
All I know is it just seems like it's easy for everybody to blame the crime boss. I mean, that just really seems like the easy way out. But you know what? I'm Teflon, okay? Nothing sticks to me. So if you guys need a fall guy, I see what you're doing. Those of you, Lou, who are trying to say it's me, but I did go to that suite upon my arrival at the Carlton Glitz Hotel. That's true. All right. But I was one of the VIPs. Martin knew better than to deny me a VIP pass. I mean, obviously, hello, VIP. Okay. I even opened the windows because the air conditioner was broken. It was a bit muggy in there. I like a cool breeze. And I see that this looks bad that I was there, but it wasn't me. I never saw that rat Martin, or I might have squeezed his neck over my dog Patsy. But I was going back to the suite to get some bonbons after Martin was pushed from the window, but I didn't know he was flat on the sidewalk at the time. I mean, I wasn't looking out the window. I arrived maybe like 2-3 minutes after all that chaos started on the street with people finding his body. I mean, there were witnesses inside the suite that could back up my story. I mean, I don't remember who was there, but there were definitely people there. Obviously, there were other people there. I mean, just because I can't name them. I mean, I know someone had to see that I entered the suite at least 2 minutes after he went out the window. I mean, I've thought about this a lot as you guys have been talking, and I really think Lou Carlisle is the type to do something like this. I mean, Lou's actually just a yellow-bellied chicken. Yellow-bellied chickens kill out of fright. So Martin probably said something that threatened Lou, and Lou reacted like the coward that she is. So my money's going on Lou. Or, as I said earlier, I mean, it could be Croc. Croc's a croc. I mean, who cares? Really, honestly, does it matter who killed him? Martin needed to go. That's plain. Needed to go. Does it really matter who did it?
Spoken like a murderer.
I think it might matter a little bit. So maybe I just got the handwriting analysis in. So should I share that with the team?
I mean, if we really want to find out, but again, do we really even need to know at this point? Good riddance.
Okay. I'm going to drop these in the chat, and then I'm going to share them as well. So give me just a second, guys. Or actually, let me show the first one first, and then I'll drop them into the chat. I think this is the first one.
Yes.
Page 1.
I mean, not that I'm with you and can see what you're
Right.
doing in any way whatsoever.
Right.
Very different place.
So this is the first one, but I'm going to drop these in the chat so that you guys can look at them at your leisure.
No,
Love that the date says yesterday. Just had to write my text.
And there's actually a second page with more people's handwriting on there for us to analyze. Give me just a second. I'm going to try to actually drop all of these in at the same time.
Lou looks guilty.
Yeah.
You do keep, you do keep harping on that.
I would just like to say that I think that my handwriting looks so much like Walt Disney's. I mean, really, honestly, if you check out my eye,
It kind of does.
That's true.
That is
That's true.
not the handwriting of the killer. I would just like to point that out. So
Like, what exactly does the handwriting of a killer look like?
not like that, obviously. So, I mean, I think if you look at Lou's, kind of looks like the hand of a handwriting of a killer. So it's like Lou's is like tall, narrow, like spiky.
Heather,
like a
you're
knife.
just sending the files to me because I private messaged you instead of to everyone.
I didn't even realize that.
She's Burkell is sharing private information. Virus. That sounds like they
That's
may
kind of
have
not cool.
something. Conspiracy. I call cheating.
And also, I'm sorry that I missed your message. On
It's okay.
So, my bad. All right. So sorry. We're going to try this again.
We have a lot going on here.
We do. Technical difficulties.
Yeah.
You know, this is the way we roll here. Okay. All
So
right.
do I get to defend myself?
No. Mm-mm.
Sure, go right ahead. I mean, I don't think you have a defense, but sure.
I
go
do
ahead.
have a defense because I mean, it's obvious that whoever did this is in the hospitality industries because they were on the suite, the hospitality suite on the 13th floor. Whoever did it was obviously in the hospitality suite. And some of us went to the hospitality suite before the party began. So the forensic evidence might place many of us there at the crime scene. Doesn't mean that we did it. I did go to the suite upon the arrival at the hotel, but I was down here when the launch party kicked off. I hate to disappoint Pat, but I was in the ballroom, the location of the party here on the main floor of the Carlton Glitz Hotel during the time of the murder. The only time I left was after the party started was to use the restroom down the hallway and to take Mr. Bangles for a little potty break. And that was 10 minutes before he was pushed out the window of the 13th floor. 13th floor. I was only gone for a minute or two. If anyone thinks they saw otherwise, they are lying, Pat.
Well, it's a small dog. I mean, in 10 minutes to walk that little tiny dog, like obviously that was plenty of time. For
He
you.
likes to take his time.
Wow.
Don't rush, Mr. Bangles. It's okay. It's okay.
Cat, right?
2 minutes after it happened. So if you left 10 minutes before, all I'm saying is sounds like plenty of time to me.
No.
I never went inside the hospitality suite. So unless I used magic, it would be difficult. I'm sure the forensic report will come back to corroborate my story. If it doesn't, I won't have a reason for that. I went on a tour of the hotel about 5 to 6 minutes before Martin was pushed out the window. I don't remember exactly where I was, but I was just wandering around. The Carlton Glitz Hotel is exquisite. I rode the elevator to the 13th floor, and as I was getting off the elevator, Ozone was standing there waiting to get on the elevator to go down. I found the suite, knocked on the door, and nobody answered. I heard muffled voices, and I know one of the voices belonged to Martin, and he was angry. I returned to the ballroom about a minute or so after Martin must have been pushed out the window.
So you
Anyone
said,
else have a defense?
Yeah. Anyone else?
Ozone was there.
Well, I mean,
Okay,
I was,
yeah. I was in the hospitality suite. Like when I got to the Carlton Glitz Hotel, I mean, there was this like amazing buffet of appetizers up there in the VIP suite. So I didn't want to leave. Like they were awesome. Like they had those little mushrooms, you know, those things are freaking great. So like, but like I was there and like some other people were like coming and going. I don't know, like maybe 5 or 10 minutes before Martin was pushed out the window, I saw Lou. Lou came and went. So, you know, and maybe a few others. I don't remember. I don't recall who they were. Andy showed up. I remember Andy showing up. And then she went to the restroom with the and the water was running. I don't know. I must have left like right before Martin was pushed out the window. But when I did, Andy was still in the restroom, like for what that's worth. Like what was Andy doing that needed so much water? Like that's, you know, that's the question, I think. I mean, there might have been like one or more other people in there besides Martin. They were all like hanging around by the buffet. I don't know. I'm a terrible witness. I'm sorry. I don't pay close attention. You know, like when I got to the elevator, there might have been someone in a car that exited. I didn't recall. I didn't see who they were.
no, I actually, I also heard the water running when Andy was in there for like a long time. It was like,
Right?
I thought
She
someone
was
was like
there for-
taking a shortcut bath or something. And then I did see Andy come out after that, and I did see you actually, because I went over to the buffet table to get some of those delicious deviled eggs, right?
Yes,
And,
those were so good, right?
Yeah, I saw Martin. I saw you, Ozone, and Andy was out there at the time. And then after I ate the eggs, you know, I went to the bathroom, but I couldn't go to the one by the buffet because Andy was in there running the water. Yeah, when I finally got out of the bathroom because I had to go to the far away one, I thought Martin had just left. But I guess someone pushed him out the window.
I mean, he
I don't
did
know.
leave. He just like left out the window.
I mean, I don't think so. I'm just saying. But all the windows were open. It wasn't just that one.
Right. It was really breezy up there.
Yeah. I was never near the windows. That wasn't me. I mean, I'm sure forensics will back up somehow that I was never near any window. But the deviled eggs were good, though.
They were so good.
So good, right?
Yeah, I like this a lot.
was there anybody still in the suite when you left?
Was that, sorry, who are you asking?
Sorry, Croc. Was there anybody in the suite still when you left?
Yeah. Martin, Andy, and Ozone were all still in there, and maybe one or two more people. I didn't know I was gonna have to remember everyone that was in the room, but I know those three for sure were in the room when I went to the bathroom.
I just want to point
then-
out she did not say my name because I, as I've already said, arrived after he'd gone out the window. I just wanted to point that out to everybody, just, you know, in case there was any
Convenient.
confusion.
Well, maybe
Yeah.
just because I didn't see you there, because there were other people there, and also I was gone, so you could have come in after I left.
Well, I
It's
did.
possible.
He came in after he got pushed out the window. So, you know.
I'm just saying, I think they need to fingerprint the windows and check for yours. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
You
is-
know, another thing that I would like to point out is, I mean, I think that maybe we've forgotten about this because this was said early on, but like Pat Capone's dog, prize-winning AKC dog, was stolen by some of Martin's henchmen, you know, like
Rats.
2 days ago, two days ago, and mess with the mob, you get whacked. So enough said. That's what I think. So Pat.
That does sound accurate.
I don't have my dog back yet, and there's no way I would whack Martin before. I mean, would I whack Martin? Of course I would. Who wouldn't whack Martin? I mean, half of Chippewa County wants to take a whack at Martin, but I really feel like I would wait until I had my dog back. And as I mentioned earlier, my henchmen, associates, whatever we would like to call them, are at Martin's place in Miami right now. So if I don't have my dog yet, why would I whack Martin? I wouldn't. It's just, it wouldn't benefit me.
Those are all good points too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I have evidence. Can I share some evidence?
If it's about you.
Well,
First, let me ask, does anybody else have any more of a defense? Because I feel as though I'm going to get a little more information from the crime lab soon, but but tell me about yourself. else. Also,
She's
just so
evidence. She has evidence.
okay, just so everybody knows, I did put the other document in there too, so you guys can compare handwriting at home. You know, you can download these little documents and do all that too. Just FYI. Go ahead, continue.
Just, since everybody's talking about my bathroom habits, as if having to go boo-boo makes me a killer. Listen, ladies, we've all done it. You've gone in the bathroom and run the water so everybody doesn't listen. Obviously, you guys are listening way too hard to what people do in the bathroom. I mean,
The water was running.
It sounded like someone was taking a bath.
You must be a really loud tinkler if you need the water that forcefully to cover up your tinkle.
I wasn't going number one. I was.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, I mean, that makes it all the more understandable.
Yes. So when I
Okay,
run,
so you say though. I mean,
well, do you need to go and smell it? Like what?
no, thank you. Ew.
Upon my arrival to the Carlton Glitz, I went to the hospitality suite on the 13th floor, as did a bunch of you. That doesn't make me a killer. I mean, it was really stuffy. So I went to the windows and they were already slightly open. So I just pushed them up all the way, so it lets some air in the room. And there were screens on them, so I didn't think it would be dangerous. Like, it's not like somebody was going to fall out. So the murderer had to be strong. Like, they would have had to have pushed really hard to break the screen out. So during the party, I went back to the hospitality suite because they had these like little stuffed olives with like the cheese and the bacon in them. And
Yeah. Those were good. Those were good.
So good. So I just, the party food wasn't that great. So I was, I just wanted to get some more olives. So while I was in the suite, I excused myself to the restroom, as some of you have so charitably pointed out. I was in there a while, and when I came out, Martin was gone. I think he must have been pushed out the window while I was in there, but I didn't hear anything. And so I was in there for a little while, and I left, and then people started fussing that Martin had done it. Or that Martin was dead. And so I think there were like one or two people left in the suite when I left, but I don't remember who it was. I was kind of trying to like get out before anybody caught on to what I was doing. Not that it matters now, since everybody knows.
Everybody knows about your poops now. It's too late.
Yeah, I mean,
they
There's always one person at every party that ruins the bathroom for everyone.
I mean, literally the party pooper.
Yeah.
All right. Has everyone given their defense, given their evidence, given their motive? Has everyone told all that they plan to tell?
I
don't have to give my evidence.
I have evidence.
All right.
I do.
Please give us.
It's common knowledge that Martin McFly had 3 Siberian Husky dogs. 3 of them. And he always had dog hair on him. So whoever pushed him out the window is going to have dog hair on them. And it's impossible to be close to Martin without getting some of it on you, in my opinion. And I also remember reading about how Martin's close friend had gotten slapped on stage by Crocodile Baker, who had to slap people around, and Martin had talked her into filing a lawsuit for a hairline neck fracture. Not sure whatever came of that, but Croc could have done this for revenge. Just my opinion. Just saying.
Croc's a croc.
Just saying.
That was a misunderstanding. First of all,
sure.
She had a terrible skin condition. I gave her a smack, and she said that she was healed. She was healed. And later she comes back and says that I fractured her cervical spine. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. First she's healed, then she's injured. I don't know.
That sounds questionable.
Look, I will. This is, we really shouldn't be discussing this because I have a court date in 2 weeks. So.
What?
That's your problem.
Before you go to court, you need to remember that you owe me over $100,000. So I'm gonna need you to be making a house call at my mansion there, Croc, and pay up. So I have a couple I actually have a
didn't-
couple of pet alligators in my back of my estate, and
Yeah, Croc, make sure you don't stand by any windows if you go to Pat's house. I'm just saying.
Listen, you didn't need to, that is unrelated to this issue. That is unrelated.
Croc's a croc. That's all I'm saying. So
It
and,
sounds related. I'm just saying.
Ozone.
My
I,
healing is real. I'm a real healer.
Ozone, I did want to say that I received your check, and let's just say you're going to be protected during your next tour. I'll have 5 of my best guys who will have your back in every way. So you're good. You're good.
Dancers,
Yeah,
right?
right, whatever.
Dancers. Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe in you, Pat.
Thanks, Elvirus. I appreciate that you have my back. So,
All right. Anybody
I have-
else? Anybody
I have-
else want to give up anything?
Yes. So
Yes.
I just want to put out there that when I stepped into the bathroom to take care of my business, Ozone was in the suite.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
at the buffet table.
I know. I
That's
was like,
awesome.
I hope she'd leave some of the olives for me. But I just want to throw out there that I may have been in the bathroom, but I was not alone in the suite.
Mm.
No, there were lots of people at the buffet table. There were people at the buffet table when I left, and Martin.
Who?
I don't remember. There were just people. I didn't know I was gonna have to be like giving a witness statement and stuff. I was just like eating some appetizers and then I left.
All right, so if you want to know why I moved to LA, because I know this is a question that's happening, I'm gonna be 100% honest. Okay, 100% as usual, no matter what people say about me. I had an opportunity to purchase my first super church. I now have 3. I might have had to take out a loan. It was with people in Los Angeles. I did not realize they were related to the Miami people, aka Pat Capone. I didn't know. I thought I was getting a loan from LA. And so my mother came with me. And then, she met Martin McFly, and that was a whole mess. But that's why I moved to LA.
You mean by mess, you mean 3 years ago, Martin McFly left your mother at the altar.
Yes, that happened.
Mhm. Okay.
Yeah, it was a painful time, but it was because I sent her on a millionaire singles cruise, and that's where they met. That's where she met Martin McFly. So then they got engaged, and then my TV show blew up, and then he left her at the altar. Yeah, that happened. And the thing with his friend was that was a misunderstanding. Cervical fracture, my ass. See her in court.
I just want to say that, obviously, I think that there's probably some doubt that I can't remember anything, and that I think he committed suicide or whatever. Again, my thing with him is that he cut me off in traffic. He is a jerk, and then he threatened to kill me, which is just stupid. And I came to this party for basically to show that I'm famous or whatever, because he said he needed every famous person that he knew. And I was like, okay, free food, whatever, I'll come. And I came and I hung out at the buffet, and then Andy went in the bathroom and ran the water for a bazillion years. And, and that's pretty much it. I left, he was still in the room when I left. And I just, like I said, if I'd known I was going to have to give all these statements, I would have written it down, but I didn't know what was going on. So why did he want to kill me? He wanted to kill me. Okay, he cut me off in traffic, right? And I managed to not hit him because I hit my brakes because I'm a better driver than he is. But he jumps out of his car and screams at me that I'm a shitty driver. And then he threatened to kill me. I don't know. He threatened to kill me for not hitting his car. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense, but that's what happened.
And no, I have never gone to court for damaging anyone that I feel.
Convenient. Okay.
I'm the best at what I do.
I'm defensive because people are saying I don't remember anything. Of course I don't remember anything.
All right. Anybody else want to share anything? If not, we're going to move on to the evidence. We've got some evidence that Detective Cagney or Lacey or somebody sent. Hold on just a second.
Cagney and or Lacey.
I think it's this one. Yep. And then I'm also going to drop it in the chat. Is anybody surprised with anything we see there?
That matches my story perfectly. I tried the door and it was locked and I didn't go into the suite.
I just want to say that, I mean, my prints, I told you guys that I came in after he'd already gone out the window. So, I mean, I went over and looked out the window to see why everybody was, you know, what the commotion was. So that's, you know, that's why my fingerprints were there. I already told you guys that. I don't have anything to hide. I gave you guys the information that I came in 2 minutes after all this happened. And so of course I'm hearing like hubbub and chaos and I went over and looked out the window.
It's gotta be someone who was at the window or whoever that blackmailer was that Alex Green. Has to be.
I mean, this makes sense to me. Like, you know, like all this makes sense to me. I was in the suite. I was at the buffet table. Martin was there. So I was probably near him with the dog hair. All of it makes sense to me.
Are we allowed to ask questions?
Yes.
I have a question for Lou. Lou seems to have mentioned Alex Green long before we saw the note. How does Lou know about Alex Green?
Oh, we had it in our packets. That's not a real clue. We had it in our packets.
No, because Lou's friends with Alex, right? Lou, you're friends with Alex, right?
Yes. Yeah, he's a friend of mine. I mean, for what he did to my uncle.
So you don't know who Alex is, though. You're just saying.
I'm just saying he's a friend of mine. Whoever took out my uncle is a friend of mine, except for Pat. But
you mentioned Alex's name before we saw the note with his name on it. So I was curious how you saw the note before the rest of us.
It was mentioned to me.
By who?
Mentioned to me ahead of time.
By who?
I have connections in the police department.
All right. Thank you.
Are you the sole heir to the money now that it's gone?
What now?
Are you the sole heir? Do you have to share the money with you?
That is a good question, Tina.
I am, yes, I am an heir, but I am wealthy. I don't need his money.
But you're not turning it down. I didn't hear you offering it like as a reward for finding my dog or anything.
Why am I going to offer? I might give it to charity. Or it might be Mr. Bangles. He has a new mixtape coming out. Woof, woof. Hello, you're there. And I will probably invest in his mixtape. He deserves a career. He deserves a career too.
Lou, have you ever filed bankruptcy?
I'm very emotional.
I have a question. Pat, you've got your Pat Capone, you've got your fingerprints on the doorknob, on the open window, you've got the synthetic fabrics, you've got the husky dog hairs. You seem to have evidence just all over you, and you've left evidence all over. Can you explain how you got the husky hairs when you said that it was your people who went for your dog?
Yeah, but I was in his suite. I mean, the man is filthy. He just doesn't, I mean, you know, he doesn't, I've already said here that I'm a dog owner. I carry a lint brush with me. You don't see any, do you see dog hairs on my clothes? Nope, you don't, because I carry a lint brush. So, you know, the man has 3 huskies. Obviously, anyone who goes in his suite with 3 huskies is going to come out with dog hair. And I've already said I was in the suite. I have nothing to hide. Okay. So I went over to the window. I arrived 2 minutes after he jumped. I was a little curious as to what all the hubbub was. I went over to the window. Now, had I known that the man was pushed out the window, I wouldn't have put my fingers on there. I mean, as a mob boss, I know better than to leave fingerprints. I mean, that's like, hello, mob 101. So I wouldn't have left fingerprints if I was committing a crime. I mean, I would say the fact that my fingerprints are there should actually absolve me, because obviously if I'd committed a crime, I would have had somebody else do it for me. Do you know how many people I have on my payroll that would have easily done that for me? And B, I wouldn't have been dumb enough to leave fingerprints. So,
Yeah.
I mean, as far as the carpet fibers and the hairs, I was in the room. You're in
Preach,
his
Kat,
room.
preach.
You're gonna get that
Mhm.
stuff. So, yeah.
I'm sorry, but Andy was in the room and she didn't have dog hairs all over her.
You know, I noticed that as well.
Maybe she has a lint brush. I don't know. I don't have dog hairs, you know. I mean, I got the dog hairs because like I didn't have my lint brush with me because I didn't have my dog with me. I only carry my lint brush when I have my dog.
Wow.
But I'm just saying, you don't get to be like crime boss with leaving fingerprints. That's just sloppy. You just don't get to that level. I mean, I don't know if you've heard my bio, but I moved up through the ranks of crime really quickly. And in order to do that, you have to kind of know how to be a criminal. And like I said, mob 101, do not leave fingerprints. So the fact that there are fingerprints there actually absolves me. That actually right there says I didn't do it.
Interesting theory. But Andy doesn't have dog hair on her. I'm just saying.
I don't, because I didn't push him. Of course I don't have dog hair.
She took a bath. I'm telling you. That was not a poop run in the water. That was
Why
a
the
bath.
water was running so long. She was washing the dog hair off of her.
That's what I'm saying.
But my clothes aren't wet.
No, I mean, you just have to get your hands wet. Listen, I deal with animals all the time. You just get your hands wet and then you like rub them up and down and it catches. It's like a lint roller.
So, I mean, Croc, you seem really defensive about this. Like, I can't help but notice that you also had carpet fibers and dog hair on you.
I just want to say that Andy is not that good of an actress, so I believe whatever she's saying.
Oh, that's actually, that's a good point.
That is hurtful, but thank you.
Maybe
No,
whenever
that's
Andy
true.
was in the suite with Martin, she didn't have clothes on. So maybe the dog hair wasn't on her dress. Just saying, possibility.
That's true.
Is this slander Andy hour? What is this?
I'm saying possibility. She made it in Hollywood somehow, and it definitely wasn't her acting.
That's a fair point.
Yeah, you know, she was in the bathroom when I left. Andy was still in the bathroom with the water running, and Martin was still in the suite. So I don't know what happened after I left, but that is a really good possibility.
Listen, ew, Martin was disgusting. I hated Martin McFly. Okay, there was no hinky panky going on. There was no taking off of clothing. Ugh.
He did open the window all the way though.
Yeah, before I did it before the party even started.
Yeah, you were getting ready.
Yeah. My money's still on Lou. Lou had fibers and dog hairs. I think the window was already open. There's fingerprints.
Ozone
And-
also had fibers and dog hair.
But Lou was the one who pointed out that he had that Martin had huskies. So like, why would he do that and then incriminate himself with the hairs?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's like a good point, but
That's a good
There
point,
was
but Lou
a-
also
there was a
brought up.
There was a question that
How did
was
Lou
asked
know?
if Lou had ever filed for bankruptcy.
No,
No.
I'm wealthy.
Well, and I saw here in the comments that people had some questions about my missing handler, and that people had some questions about the instructions that I'd given to my men. The instructions I gave to my men were to bring my dog home. That's all I care about. I just want my dog back. And I just sent them to Miami to basically escort my dog home. Now, as far as my handler missing, I mean, people go missing all the time. That doesn't mean I had anything to do with it. I mean, was it irresponsible of my handler to allow Martin to take the dog? Of course it was. Is that person ever going to be in my employ again? Of course not. But doesn't mean that like I had anything to do with the disappearance. I mean, seriously, it's people disappear every day. I'm not responsible for all of it. Okay. I mean, some of it, yeah, I mean, that just comes with the business of being a crime boss, but doesn't necessarily mean I was responsible for my handler disappearing. I mean, you guys just want to blame me for everything.
I mean, yeah, bad employees, you fire them. That's
right.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Exactly.
I believe you, Pat.
Thanks, Elvirus. I'm sending you another bottle of wine right now.
All right. Are there any other questions for anything, or are we ready to actually take our guesses as to who might have killed?
I also want to know the answer to Amber's question.
Oh.
Damn.
I don't know.
It's amazing.
I want to know. If the explanation doesn't tell us, I'm gonna be mad.
So I'm sorry, I did just notice one thing about the forensic report, that Elvirus did have dog hair on her, but I think earlier you said you were not in the suite.
I did not go inside the suite. Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
So I
But
wonder
you
if
have
that means anything. When could you have gotten that dog hair?
Suspicious.
I wish I could tell you.
Elvirus, do you own any huskies yourself?
Mm-mm.
Are you sure?
I have way too much black clothing. Do you think that I would own white dogs?
That's a good point. That is a good point.
Yeah. Elvirus, did you have any, like, did Marty McFly owe you specifically any money? Because you mentioned that he like cost you some money, but would you say he owed you any money? Or just you feel he did?
He did not technically owe me any money. There was an incident where I just like barely tapped his Rolls Royce. There was no damage. Everyone could tell he was faking his injury.
I could tell.
Yes,
Ugh, he's the worst driver.
exactly.
One question.
And then she's gonna solve this. One more question and she's got the answer.
Andy, do you and Elvirus, like besides being enemies and all this, do you know each other at all? Like, do you have a connection?
I mean, besides the fact I was tortured by watching her movies, no.
Ugh.
They're pretty bad.
Well, it's not, gosh. No, I mean, other than her just being an absolute witch to me, no, we don't have any connection. I mean, there was that one run-in that we had on the Tonight Show, but I mean, we already explained that. Like, I thought that I was also supposed to get bottled sparkling water and I didn't get, so I just grabbed one from her room. I try to avoid her. You know, she's TV famous.
Elvirus, did you happen to run into anyone in the ballroom that had been in the suite and therefore could have gotten some of those fibers on you by running into someone else?
Possibly. Who had fibers on them? Let me tell you. Pat had fibers on her.
I mean, you and I
I'm
hugged.
a big
You and I
fan of
hugged.
Pat.
I'm sure
You
that
know,
probably
we
got
did the
like-
little thing, you know. Yeah.
we
Convenient.
hugged. We're social.
Convenient.
Mhm.
All right.
Okay.
So,
And I just remembered that I did this.
okay.
So if I can figure out how to share it.
So, sometimes people are really, really prepared for things ahead of time and they do really cool things like Google Forms for you all to decide who did it. And then they completely forgot that they did the Google Forms and then they remember, which is really cool. So,
And then now they're trying
and
to
now
figure
they're
out
trying to figure out
quickly how to get the
to
link
Get the link.
to said Google form that they did that was really fun. How do you get the link?
Oh, I love y'all. That's so
To
cool.
share the Google form, you go to the top where it says send on the question
there we
on the
No.
question page. Go to
It's on the
send.
link. It's on the link.
Yeah.
Go to short.
Shorten.
And
it.
the
Yep.
copy.
Okay.
All right.
Yes,
there
and
you
that's
go.
what happened before too. When I finally found it and it was under the button, I was like, "That's so ridiculous! It would be under the button." But anyway, there's a 3-dot menu for a reason. People, is all I'm saying.
Says the
Okay,
computer program.
whatever. Bad design. Okay. Oh, hold on. Well, it does help if one learns how to cut and paste as well. Not guaranteeing that's possible here. Okay. Okay, there we go. All right, so if you go to that link, it's got everybody's names on it, and then we'll be able to at least see the breakdown of how everybody voted. And then we will actually figure out where the answer is, because of course we're not supposed to look ahead. And then we will let everybody know, but we'll see the responses first.
And we do only get one choice, right? There is no collaboration, right?
Right. There's one murderer. I mean, it's not me.
Oh, and it says Tigris, but it's Violet.
Yes. Sorry.
And I'm going to, yeah, for anybody that's watching on the live on Facebook, but is not inside the Zoom participating, I'm going to post the link for the answer form, the Google form, underneath the video right now, so that you'll have a chance to answer as well. So I'm going to post that right this second.
And just note that Ice Cream Cool Beans did not show up to the party tonight, and neither did Tigris Eden. So Violet Howe is now Pat Capone.
Not suspicious at all.
And we're sending lots of Tigris. And she's good.
Does anyone know who the murderer is?
I've not read ahead. We
Okay.
really didn't read ahead, so I don't know who it is. We do have another one more recording to play, which we'll play that, and I think it's the one that actually tells the solution. So if it doesn't, we'll track down one of the documents that has it in there.
No, it's the solution. It's called the solution video. So I'm going to guess that it's the solution.
Are we allowed to share like of who we think it is though at all?
Yeah, we're going to do that before we play the video.
Yeah.
Can we send it more than one form?
After you guys have all gone, I'll also share the stats so we can see how everybody voted.
All right. So does anybody want to talk about who they think did it and why? I mean, unless it's me. And if you think it was me, it might not be a good idea in the best interest of your health to discuss why you think I did it. But I mean, go ahead, take your chance, whatever you need to do.
Sounds like something a murderer would say.
I couldn't be Pat.
My form isn't letting me fill it in.
Fill it
I
in.
don't know why. Not that I know who it is. I'm still trying to figure it out, but I tried to fill in that first thing and it won't let me.
At
least
probably
the
post when you go down.
At least the murder weapon wasn't a wine bottle this year.
It let you do it, so
It
it's
wasn't
working.
a wine bottle the last time. It was a gin bottle.
And I was drinking gin that night
Yes.
on accident.
But you were the killer.
It was a
That was a
coincidence.
couple of years ago.
You
That was
didn't
a couple
know
of years
that.
That was the best.
No relation to this party, hopefully.
It was a 20s party, so I drank gin and tonics. I had no idea.
I just filled out the form, so the link worked for me. So hopefully you guys are able to get through it yourself.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
just that I'm an idiot and I apparently don't know what I'm doing. I'm good.
That's
Welcome
okay.
to the club.
I couldn't copy the link, so
I am also in that club.
Now I just have to figure out who I actually think did it. And
Now I had to eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and then I guessed someone based on their past history at being the killer.
See, that was subtle. I totally don't know who you mean.
Who could it be?
I think Ozone did it because based on the timeline, I feel like you were the last person.
That's true.
That
You were
was
still in the
my second
bathroom.
guess.
You were in the bathroom.
Yeah, no,
I mean, so was I.
Buffet and has no idea who's at the buffet with them. Like, really, who can stick at the buffet for the amount of time that she described being
cares? Like,
didn't
do you know every single person you hung out with last night?
I'll know what you were there for.
I'm always looking at the food. I'm not looking at the people.
Yeah, right there. Like, I can do that.
Like,
I'm like,
if someone
jumbo
said,
shrimp,
like,
what?
name every single person you saw at the bar last night. I mean, I don't know. I was
Kat,
looking at
didn't
the
you-
deviled eggs and little stuffed mushrooms. Those were awesome. That's what I was there for.
There's a lot of hidden hostilities because
My
took her
problem is-
father, she was bullied by the son, and she stood in that bathroom a mighty long time and put the water on to kind of cover whatever she was really doing. I'm down.
Tina is making some points. Tina's making some points.
I love you, but you're a little bit suspect. And I think Pat is too much of the obvious person to do it.
No, I was saying,
Thank you. Fan, Tina, big fan.
Pat, didn't you say that when you were coming back up, that Ozone was already at the elevator and Martin had already gone out the window? Didn't you say that?
Yeah, Martin had already gone out the window. I came back like 2 minutes after all this happened.
Which means Ozone was probably in the room when it happened, right?
No, I left the room before. Because he was still in the room.
Whenever I came up to the 13th floor, Ozone was getting on the elevator, and I heard inside the suite Martin and someone else arguing.
Thank you.
That's
Oh,
a
okay.
secret. Everybody's telling the truth.
Yeah, I'm still sticking that
Always
it's
tell
Lou.
the truth.
Of course we telling the truth. Why wouldn't we tell the truth? I'm not gonna push a guy out the window because he yelled at me in the street after a road rage incident. That's stupid.
Yeah, I still think it's Lou. I don't think Lou has as much money as they're saying. And I think the fact that Lou knew about Alex Green, and I think Alex Green is an old football player, and her father was a football player.
Is that a real thing?
This
Is
is
Alex
not
Green all
true.
football?
I mean, soul air. That right there. Just the soul
Who had the most to gain?
I hated him
that's
so much, I didn't even want his money. I didn't want
Keep
to
saying that.
with him.
You're getting
You
his
keep
Right.
saying that.
But you blame your mother's death and your dad's incarceration
And
on
you
him,
hold
and
a
that's
grudge
reason
like
enough.
nobody else. It was just barbecue
True.
sauce.
So true.
Pleasure in succeeding on my own and rubbing it in his face because he said that I wasn't going to succeed, but I did. So my success is my revenge against that man.
Your success with his money.
No, I have my own money.
You keep
And like
saying
I
that.
said, mixtape, roof, it's coming out. It's for $19.95 plus shipping and handling. You want a signed copy? It's $3.95.
Who was out of money because of him? Because we already know that Andy had to pass on all of her roles, and that because she had to pass because she was taking care, that she never got any more roles. So she's basically lost her career. And Andy, like I said, I love you. So you stay there and don't hire Pat. But she lost her career. She's out of money.
What career?
And
the ones that she wanted to pursue by acting, I guess, and had to pass on the 25 major roles.
I just
saying.
can't
She
figure out what all the
definitely
running water was about,
wanted
but you
that.
can't get out of a bathroom in a suite and do it yourself. So she either had to have help,
yes, which is what I
and it help had to be Elvira's.
Yeah, I mean, I think if they'd allowed us to pick two, those two would have been working together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No
Well,
offense,
so if
Elvira's.
there's only one killer, that killer would have to be Elvira's. But how did Elvira's get in and out of the suite without being noticed?
Maybe
Like somebody would have had to
Yes.
see her, but she's got the fur, but nobody saw her.
And I don't have carpet fibers on my feet.
That's true. So I'm thinking Pat, because Pat has all the evidence.
Okay, listen, y'all gotta stop hating on Pat. Pat is amazing. Pat is a singular talent that we have not
Pat is a
seen in a
terrible-
generation.
Terrible.
Pat's a
Terrible
killer.
singer.
Don't be offended, okay, Pat? But we with your career. You're a killer.
But
Just
the
not
handler
this
didn't bring her
killer.
dogs back, so she had to go and do the job herself.
Amber, where did you get the evidence?
I just want to is that true, Amber? That Andy's mom was
No,
named?
I have been trying to say that, but nobody would listen to me. I written down JD or Andy. Mom is Alexandra. She talked about her mom.
Are we
being-
not a group?
but I wrote that down.
I know, we wrote that.
I wrote with my pen.
No, they're not sisters.
No, I'm
They're
sorry.
never
That's
such devoted sisters.
but I still think she did it. I'm sorry, and we're not allowed to choose this, but I think Andy did it, and just to cover for Elvira, and Elvira needs the 10,000 because of that accident that she was in. So that would be my argument. I don't know what.
I paid Martin 30,000, so why would I ask for 10,000?
Why not?
Yeah. Oh no.
All right. Any more guesses? Anybody else want to?
Amber's an investigative genius. How did you catch that when no one else did?
Well, that was my thing with Crocodile Baker too. I was figuring she needed more than 10,000. unless that was the amount that the wedding was costing the mother, but I was like, nah.
All right, I'm gonna show the stats.
I owe money to Pat.
Yeah, that's what I was like, you owe like, what did she say,
A lot.
100,000? So you were
Yeah.
in for a lot more than that to Pat. So I figured that left you out. What are the stats? Oh, I didn't answer yet. Wait, you can't do the stats yet. I didn't answer yet. Was I supposed to have answered? Oh, no.
Hurry up and do it. It should update live if she's sharing her screen.
Oh, never mind. Okay. I didn't answer, but that's okay. I don't need to.
You should.
I was just gonna show the stats. I can hide it, but I mean it's
No, it's too late. It's okay.
okay. Sorry.
Okay, I'm slow.
Sorry. All right. So according to everyone, Andy, it's not looking good for you. I'm just saying. Our next highest is Lou. Lou,
That's what I'm saying.
yeah. And then Elvirus, you and Lou are actually neck and neck there. Yeah, that's
It's because people don't trust goths.
well probably. Ozone, you've got some detractors too. I mean, there's some people here that
Maybe I'm a little bit of an airhead, but that is not a crime.
right. Okay. Oh, and one person had no idea, and then one person thought it was Pat. So yeah, that's probably about right.
I think you guys are some wise people, and that one person, you probably want to watch your back.
Okay.
Typical.
Don't worry, I will not tell her who voted for her. Anyway, okay. All right. So why don't we? And do we want to talk about this, or do we want to just hear the
All right, I was gonna go Elvirus. I know it's too late, but I was gonna go Elvirus. But go ahead.
Oh, yes.
Okay, well then
That means I
that's
beat
what
Lou.
Elvirus, yes,
Nice.
definitely. Definitely.
Sorry, Lou.
All
Or
I'm
right.
just trying to act
as the
as
case
guilty
might
as
be.
possible after the first year.
Okay.
Good reputation now.
We have got, I need to get it back to the beginning here. Hold on. And this is the right one. All right. Are we ready to hear from our detective?
I cannot wait.
Okay. All right.
Absolutely.
Never more ready.
Okay. Get ready. Here we go.
It's Detective Lacey again. I must say this was a difficult one to crack, but with all these great minds, we found our killer. So we figured out that Martin was in the hospitality suite with Andy, Croc, and Ozone. Andy went to the restroom and ran the water, which Ozone witnessed on the way out. After Croc saw Ozone leave, Croc locked the suite door and confronted Martin. Elvirus was the key to Ozone's innocence, as Ozone was placed outside of the room, and Elvirus heard voices, which was the argument between Martin and Croc, right before Croc pushed him out the window.
Oh my God.
We figured out that was Andy. Explain what was going on there. I'm sure charges will be brought up against Andy about that later, once all this is sorted out. Well, thanks for your help, and be safe driving home, folks.
What did I say from the very beginning? From the very beginning, I said Croc's a croc.
I told y'all I'm just an airhead.
I never saw
Never
that.
trust a televangelist.
Got away with it.
Croc and Pat were too obvious. Like, I mean, at the very end, I told Chris, I said, "What if they're two separate things? What if somebody?" I said, "Why would you
Hey.
blackmail somebody for $10,000 and then push them out a window?
And push him out a window.
Not
Right.
going to get your money that way. Like that's not going to work."
Right.
And I had Croc the whole time. She was saying, "No, it's not Croc." I was like, "I don't know. It's either Croc or Andy. Both of y'all dirty."
And all I had was try to put it on whoever's blackmailing or whoever has fingerprints on the window. Which was not me.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That's really funny.
Well, like
That's
I said,
fantastic.
the fact that I left fingerprints automatically absolved me.
Ironically,
that works.
It was accurate. Yeah.
Bob 101. Okay. So basically, what do you want to read it? You read it. Oh, okay. All right. Not that we're in the same place or anything. I'm gonna come over here because it looks like I'm like gazing up at the sky. Okay. The guilty party would try to write their sample sentence differently, but the truth will win out. Study the specific letters of the word in Martin McFly's signature. Look for a capital M and F, and then analyze the lowercase letters, comparing each one separately. With the lowercase I, is there a circle
Sorry.
above the stick?
Do you want me to just show this? Because it's,
Oh, yeah.
I can see.
Cool.
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
Is there a circle above the stick, a slash above, or a perfect dot? Letter T's are telling, as they will be crossed low and short, or a long cross, maybe with a tail sticking out more to the left or right, or maybe it's right in the middle. Then look at right lean, straight, or left lean. Is there uneven pressure on letters? Do you see more ink build up on certain letters? I know you guys went through all these steps when you're looking, right?
Oh yeah, totally.
Is there a terminal stroke of the last letter written, or is it absent and diminished? And how much space is in between letters? That one's hard to disguise, especially if especially narrow or wide. And lastly, are there characteristic loops, hooks, hooks, or angels? No, I'm kidding. Or angles on it. And I was not drinking red wine with Elvirus, but we're going to move on to the one that we were supposed to be reading.
But
hold
I
on.
don't know that it's.
That's it.
No, I think this one just still does handwriting. So this is
Okay,
the
so keep
breakdown.
going down.
So
That's a
I think
lot.
it's. So my apologies. Hold on just a second. There's got to be another one.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Yes, talk amongst yourselves.
80s trivia. Who wrote the Bangles song Manic Monday?
Ooh.
Anyone? That is my go-to karaoke song. Do you know who wrote it?
Blondie.
That would be Prince.
Prince wrote it?
Prince, that's
Oh, nice.
Wrote Manic Monday.
You gonna sing it for us?
Not without the music.
Absolutely not.
This is impromptu karaoke. Come on.
Okay, so that's just the transcript.
Okay.
And then, okay, here we go.
This is the further breakdown of the whodunit if you
Okay.
guys want more detail. And I'm going to share the screen. Give me just a
Does it
second.
explain why I have dog fibers on me? Dog hairs
Hopefully.
on me. That's all I care. All I care.
The only
Okay.
thing.
Andy admitted to being in the hospitality suite during the time of the murder, but did say she was in the restroom with the water running, so nobody could hear her peeing. That's not what she said, but we'll just go with it. Don't judge, because some people just don't like that. So Andy's prints were on the door. Andy admitted to pushing the window up all the way. More than one person had complained it was stuffy in there, and so Pat opened the window. That's how my fingerprints got on there, and Andy pushed it further open. Andy was in the suite, so she had carpet fibers on her shoes. Andy did not have dog hairs matching Martin's dog on her, as she never got close enough to Martin. Andy is ultimately ruled out by both Ozone and Croc, who both said she was in the restroom with the water running, which was at the time of the murder. Croc admittedly was in the suite at the same time, but did give credibility to Andy's story of being in the restroom. Elvirus is ruled out for never entering the suite. At one point, Elvirus tried to enter, but Croc had locked the door upon seeing Andy in the restroom and Martin by himself standing by the window. Elvirus gives Ozone an alibi, as they saw Ozone outside of the locked hotel suite, walked over to the door, and heard muffled voices at the same time of the murder. Elvirus didn't have carpet fibers found on their lower extremities, so they should be ruled out. Elvirus did have dog hairs matching Martin's Siberian Husky dogs. Given that Martin had been in the main floor ballroom, chances are the hair transfer could have happened at any time. Maybe Elvirus picked it up from the door of the hospitality suite. Elvirus having dog hairs would show you that it doesn't make a suspect the automatic killer, even if that suspect was the killer 2 years ago.
I just want to say my headcanon was that me and Pat were just like making out somewhere.
There you go. That works for me.
Yeah.
That works for me. And Sharon, Lou is ruled out by the timeline, which Pat completely disagrees with, but okay. During the time of the murder, Lou was in the main ballroom with a ton of witnesses. Lou had been in the hospitality suite earlier, but nowhere near the time of the murder. It was at least 7 or 8 minutes before Martin was pushed out the window. Lou did have dog hairs, but she could have picked those up at any time. Martin had 2 high shedding dogs. I thought it was 3, but whatever. Yeah. Pat, ruled out by timeline. I went to the suite upon arrival and then went to the ballroom when most everybody did to kick off the party. I did not return to the hospitality suite until after the murder took place, which I made clear. Pat did. I did admit to opening the window Martin was pushed out of, but the killer just used the open window and never had to touch it. That's why there were no fingerprints. So touching the window, especially with the witnesses, shouldn't have meant that I did it. So all evidence points to Croc. Croc was in the hospitality suite when Martin was pushed. Andy had a better motive with witnesses, including Croc's statement that they later regretted making. And Elvira's cleared Ozone at the time of the murder. Elvira's heard a muffled argument right before the murder happened, so Andy was in the restroom at the time it happened. The forensic evidence placed Croc at the scene, and as described above, the window was already open, and Martin was standing beside it when Croc confronted him. Croc had dog hairs found on them by the trace analysis report. These hairs transferred to Croc when they pushed Martin out of the window. It's not evidence that could convict, as others were shown to have these hairs, but it does support. Also, Croc had multiple reasons to kill Martin. The motives, when combined, were very strong. Revenge for their mother's heartbreak, encouraging the socialite to sue Croc, which was an elaborate scam that she concocted with Martin. It was all set up. And that Martin was on a press campaign against Croc, which was causing the viewership of the show, Croc's livelihood, to go down, and the show was in danger of being canceled. With others reporting their shows being canceled, Croc panicked and pushed Martin out the window.
Also, Croc's a liar.
It's true.
Oh wait, there's more.
Oh, there's more.
Oh, some of these people might not have played. So
I'll just say Ozone's. Ozone is ruled out because Elvira's places Ozone outside of the hospitality suite at the time of the murder. Ozone was inside of the suite and had dog hairs, but that just places Ozone at the crime scene, not at the time of the murder. Ozone gives Andy a corroboration, as well as herself, as she mentioned someone was in the restroom with the water running, which was Andy.
I just hope Ozone saved me some of those snacks because I didn't get any.
Right? I heard about the stuff.
Yeah. No, I've got some deviled eggs in my purse for you.
Awesome.
While you and I were making out in the ballroom, those stuffed mushrooms would have been good.
I'm allergic to mushrooms. I would have been the dead body.
2 dead bodies.
All right. Yeah, I don't think we have to read that.
Okay.
No.
All righty. Any questions?
I'll give you back your screen.
Thank you. I'll come back.
I am so excited that I was the murderer.
I was so sure.
It is so fun. It is so fun to be the murderer.
It's really fun. I was hoping it was me, but you know.
All right. Did you guys have a good time?
You
Yes.
guys did an amazing job. All of you did a fantastic job. That was great.
Give a
That
round
was
of
incredibly
applause to
silly. I
all of
loved
our
it.
actors and all of our investigators. Round of applause, please.
I just hope one day me and JD can be allies instead of enemies.
Yeah,
We've been enemies
next time.
2 years in a row, and she's
True, it's true.
delightful.
Next time.
We
So
need to be
next-
buds next time.
What you're saying is next year we have to make sure that we read the parts that put you two as buddies.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, these we totally
Allies.
randomly assigned because we didn't want to read through them and figure out who to assign.
Yeah.
So we went
Hmm.
the order that Jennifer
Jennifer
gave us the
emailed.
names. We're like, okay, just match them up in order. So
Well, I
I
was kind of
literally
glad when
just
I read
watched-
mine because I was like, I don't have any hair. I don't know how to do 80s things. And then it was like, oh, you're a goth. And I was like, cool, got that.
Yes.
that you can handle. So
Right.
I just watched the movie about Tammy Faye Baker.
Oh,
Like
with the-
before I got this. Yeah, and I was
That's
like, oh my
amazing.
gosh, this is amazing.
When
my
you, the
God.
minute you said megachurch, I thought about Tammy Faye Baker.
Yeah,
actually.
like
Yeah.
I literally, and all I could think of was like Andrew Garfield, like preaching and like
Yeah.
telling people that God loves them, and it was amazing.
Oh
Well,
my God.
I did think it was funny how they decided to mash up the characters like
Yeah.
Yeah,
Crockett
right? Crocodile Dundee and yeah,
and Jim Baker, right?
Baker.
right.
Yes.
I feel like they just put every 80s reference they could find into a blender and then just randomly
Yeah.
pick stuff out.
Stuff out, yeah.
Gibson,
Like in my
okay.
character sheet, it because like my character was like kind of Debbie Gibson-ish, right? Like pop star, mall tour, all that stuff. But
Right.
then it was like when it had like the character description stuff for like how to play the character, it was like break dance. And I'm like, how am I going to break dance on Zoom? Like that's, I don't think I'm going to do that.
Wait,
So
are
I
you
made a
saying you
personal
could break
choice.
dance if this was in person?
No, I could not. And I'm
That would
like,
be
how-
dope.
How would you do? And I was just,
How would
I
you
was
break dance?
completely stumped by that. It's amazing.
I think if I'd done the accent the whole time, everyone would have voted for me because in Agatha Christie, it's always the shady Australian.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Always.
I didn't think about that. Yeah, I should have known better.
It's always an Australian. If there's an Australian in an Agatha Christie mystery, they did
They
it.
did it.
Yeah.
She probably had
100%.
some Australian
Or they
guy
all did it.
at some point, and so she just decided
Yeah.
that the villain was
I just want to say, like, if anyone's ever investigating my murder, I want it to be Amber because, like, those observation skills are on point.
When Amber and Crystal as a tag team.
Yes.
So it's why it's really annoying to read books with her because she will dissect every little piece. And I'm like, Crystal, I don't know. I was just enjoying the ride. Okay. I don't
I love that about her. She finds all these little details and picks them out. And I'm like, I didn't even notice that. So I love that about her.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
DeLuca does the same thing.
If you realize in book 1 your house was blue and then in book 3 it was white, you're not very happy with me.
Yeah, I'll hire you. I'm gonna
DeLorean
hire
does-
you to my series Bible.
Yeah, DeLorean does the same thing. So when there's a book club and DeLorean and Crystal are both discussing the ins and
Oh,
outs of
God,
things,
so fun.
that's an impressive discussion right there.
That's awesome.
Good thing we found a series that brings that out in everybody. So
Continuity experts.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to finish up without giving the authors involved a chance to let anybody who might be watching online and may not be familiar with who they are in their real life a chance to know what they write and how to find out more about their stuff. So really quickly, and we can chat some more about 80s afterwards, but really quickly, let's go through the authors and let them explain who they actually are and what they write and how people can find out more information about them. So I'm just gonna call on the authors based on where they are on my screen. So Jessica, why don't you go first and then we'll move around the screen.
Oh, that's me. I am JD Monroe, and when I am not being a not murderous, I didn't murder anybody this time. Y'all
No,
were
you
accusing me.
blackmailed somebody.
You were
blackmailer.
murdered last
Yes,
time.
I was a blackmailer, but not a murderer. I write a paranormal romance, and I'm currently writing a vampire romance series. It's kind of a twist on some fairy tales called Curse Blood. And the first book came out last month, and you can read that now on Amazon if you'd like. If you would like to check out some of my other books or grab a couple of free prequels and things like that, you can visit my website at www.jdmonroe.com, or you can find me on Facebook and TikTok.
Okay, Violet.
Hi guys, I am not a mob boss at all,
Nice.
nor am I a pop singer. I am Violet Howe, and I write romantic suspense, romantic paranormal mystery, and romantic women's fiction. And I actually will have a series coming out this summer that is paranormal romance with vampires and witches and fallen angels and all sorts of fun things. I do have a new release coming out next month that is a romantic suspense called Bounty Flight that I'm very excited about. And if you would like to find out more about any of my books, my website is violethowe.com.
Fantastic. Nina?
My name is Nina Crespo, not Lou Carlisle. I write books that range from sizzling to small town sexy. My current series is Small Town Secrets, A Chef's Kiss, just released the end of December, and it's the first book in the series. So if you like books that fall into those categories, check me out at ninacrespo.com. It has all of my social media handles, as well as joining, sign up for my newsletter there.
Fantastic. Let's see who's next online here. Sarah.
Hi, yeah. So I write young adult as Sarah Nicholas. I have a Disney Channel summer movie with 2 girls as my YA, and then I have a couple of different books as Aria Kane. Currently writing is on hold for me because I am also a literate agent, so I'm working 2 full-time jobs basically. So if you write middle grade, young adult, science fiction, fantasy, and adult or adult romance, and you're looking for an agent, you can find more information at sarahandfisk.com. Sarah has an H. And also have a podcast called Queries, Qualms, and Quirks. If you are a writer that's looking to query or is querying, you might want to check that out. It's successful or published authors share their successful query letters and discuss their journey from first spark to day of publication. Tomorrow morning at 10 a.m., I am hosting the Romance Family Feud game, and it's going to be super fun. If you're one of the authors participating in that, Jen's going to email you, but bring a piece of paper or something, or like a notebook or whatever, so you can write your answers down. You can use a iPad or whatever as well. And then I will be at the meetup tomorrow. If any of you are going, hopefully we'll see you there. Is there anything else? You can just find me on Twitter at Sarah_Nicholas, Sarah with an H, Nicholas, no H.
Fantastic. All right, Katey.
Hi, I'm Katey. I write queer romance of all kinds, particularly paranormal, but all kinds of pairings. I'm really into bisexual representation. I love writing trans characters, ace characters. All the letters are good for me. So I am going to be at Gay Rom Lit in October in Norfolk, Virginia. And I have a book coming out in like 12 hours with JMS Books that is a FF romance contemporary called Yes Today. And you can find me at kateyhawthorne.com.
Fantastic. And Heather?
So I write as HD Smith, and I have urban fantasy series out, and I also most recently have a science fantasy, not really science fiction, but anyway, and that was just recently released. And you can find me at hdsmithauthor.com or possibly through wildfae.com. I forget which one it is that goes there. One of them, both of them. I don't know.
But in the group on the
Right.
post with her picture, I did put her website. So you
Okay, excellent.
You can find her that way.
Excellent.
I'm pretty sure whenever I have to look up your stuff, I always have to go to Wildfae because it's got both your HD Smith and the Sloan Savage stuff. It's all in one spot.
Yes.
And
that is true.
Morgan Quick.
Well, and Morgan Quick, but you know, nobody ever talks about her.
That's right. That's right. All right, Jen.
Can y'all hear me? My earbuds died on me. Okay, good. When I'm not a breakdancing pop star, I'm Jen DeLuca. I write contemporary romance. My series takes place at a small town Renaissance festival. The first one was called Well Met, and the Well Played, Well Matched were released after that. And the fourth one in the series is due this fall. You can find me at jendeluca.com and usually on Instagram at Jen DeLuca Writes, and I hang out occasionally on Twitter.
Fantastic. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, so now that we know how to get a hold of all of these wonderful authors in the future, is there anything anybody else wants to say or ask or comment or?
I do. I just want to say, I just want to say thank you, Heather and Violet, for planning all of this and being our guides.
They took this from downloading the program from the site that produced it to what you have tonight. They sorted everything out. They planned out all the parts. They got everybody in gear and put together, and
they got all our backgrounds.
Heather.
Yes.
All the backgrounds are them.
Yeah. Yeah, that is an awful lot of work.
Heather.
Y'all are amazing.
And
I want to mention too, really quick, Tigris Eden was supposed to be with us, and you can check out her books at tigriseden.com. So she unfortunately had a little bit of a family situation at the last minute, was not able to join us, but I want to make sure we include her as an awesome author who was going to be participating, and make sure you check out her books as well.
Correct. Yes, she is. She writes as Tigris Eden. She also writes as J.K. Rivers. So you can look up her books under either one of those names.
I'm just really sad that I didn't get to flirt with as many people this year.
Yeah.
I'm
that was super fun
not as
last night.
comfortable being as catty as I was supposed to be.
It was amazing.
Online flirting
Fantastic.
than in-person flirting. So
yeah, that was.
Yeah,
that
I didn't
was
get
great.
to flirt this. Yeah. I'm always the sleazy one though. How does that happen?
No. So what you're saying is next year what we need to do is get all of the actors together and have them pick which role they want to play.
I just
Is
want
that
to
what
flirt
I'm
with JD. That's all I'm saying.
yes.
I didn't hear you, Sarah. What did she say?
I said I just want to flirt with JD. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, we'll see if we can make that happen. We'll see what we can do.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
It's time.
I'm just saying, if I get to play a man again, I'm gonna up my beard game. I'm just saying.
Nice.
There you go.
Yeah, I had a mascara mustache last time. Like, I can do better. I can do better.
JD, I just want to say you look great in a beard. I'm just practicing for next year.
So what kind of murder mystery should we do next time? Who's got suggestions of what scenario should we pull up next time? Oh, actually, wait a minute. Never mind, because we had the one we were supposed to do in person
You
this
just
year.
like freaked the two of us
I
out.
know,
We both
like-
just like muted and looked at each other. What is she doing? What is she doing?
I forgot. I got so wrapped up in the 80s that I forgot. They already, okay, so here is how awesome that Violet and Heather are. Not only did they put this together in 6 weeks, like literally 6 weeks, they already had an entire murder mystery that we were supposed to do in person set up and planned out.
Like Heather has an entire section of her house that is filled with things we had already created for decor.
No.
So when Jennifer just said, "What theme are we going to do?" We were both like, "Wait, what is she doing?
Like-
wait, no."
I got so wrapped up in the 80s, I forgot about the other one. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Well, I can't wait to find out what it is.
Isn't it space themed?
It
It's
is.
gonna be epic.
Yeah.
It's gonna be epic.
I saw it was space themed because I was planning on a costume for that night, and yeah.
Wait,
Yeah,
what's
we
the
had
theme?
already
time.
I think we did already. It
We-
was
Nice.
announced, right? And part
Yeah,
of-
we already announced that it was the
Mhm.
sci-fi space thing. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Like intergalactic ball where all different creatures,
Yes.
Wow.
aliens, everybody
Bunch of different
is
planets.
represented.
Dope. And,
I have to
and
tell you,
then-
I was so sad that we had to push back because I had been scoping like costume pieces on Amazon. Like I was like, I'm gonna have to plan so I can take 2 hours to body paint myself purple.
Oh
Like
my
literally, I was like, I'm going all in, you guys.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, we can still do that
may
next
have-
year.
Yeah.
Next year.
I may have actually like acquired someone to actually come and do the makeup, for me and Violet, but it didn't, we had to catch
And
that.
she might have possibly bought not one, not two, but 3 airbrush machines to do the makeup before she made the decision
Okay.
to hire somebody else.
They're not really that expensive first.
Okay.
Okay. I'm just saying. And second, it did snowball a little bit, not gonna lie there. I mean, but it's a longer story there. And they weren't all for makeup. I'm just saying.
H.D. Smith's motto is go big or go home. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Go
I
big or-
love it.
Heather, we mentioned you on the audiobook panel. I don't know if you saw it. We were talking about speeds.
Oh, for
Did you
speed,
catch
yeah.
it?
Yeah, I
And
did.
Eric was like, because I said some people listen it 3 times, and he's like, Heather does, and I was like, that's because her brain just operates better than all of ours.
The first time we ever shared a room together, like we went to a conference and shared a room together, and that night because we're complete opposites, actually in a lot of ways,
In a
but
lot of ways.
we're besties. But I'm very much a late night person, late morning person, and she is like an insanely early night,
Not
early
insanely
morning.
early.
What
I'm
time
just
do you normally
saying,
get up?
We're not going to talk about that. I do get
Okay.
up. I get up a little early. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a morning person.
Before
I
the
admit.
roosters.
I
But
admit.
anyway, so she's like, I usually listen to an audiobook to go to sleep. Would that be okay with you? Well, I'm not going to be asleep for the next hour after she goes to sleep. So I'm like, sure, that's fine. All of a sudden, like Alvin and the Chipmunks were reading romance. And I'm like, I'm cracking up laughing. I'm like, what is this? What is this? It's
Okay. I
like-
did slow it down. Okay. Because it did seem a little bit. I mean, but I did slow it down.
Amazing.
I think it was.
Wow.
That's so good.
there's something
Thank you,
about like,
Jennifer.
kiss me, Fred. It just is not,
Okay, that was not
as
it.
sexy. Just not quite as sexy. But anyway, I've never found Alvin and
Yeah.
the Chipmunks sexy.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Okay. And in all fairness, that particular book, I actually was not loving it, but I wanted to know what happened at the end. So I actually had sped it up. Like
Just
So
to
you
the-
listened to it like 4 times
Yep,
speed
just
then?
just
Oh,
3.
God.
I've done that. Yeah.
I usually listen
When it
to-
becomes a slog, you're just like, go,
Yeah.
go, go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Finish that.
So yeah,
All
Jen
right.
and I are both night owls, Jennifer and I.
Yes.
And so when we were scheduling the recording for my Coastal Magic cast interview, and I like didn't even blink about asking her to record at 10 p.m. I was like, I know, she'll be awake. It's fine.
Yeah, Sarah and I have done quite a few roomy situations at events, so we both know that we're up very late, and it is not a problem at all. Yep.
Y'all ever need a hand, let me know, because I'm always up too.
How many people are early risers? Just show of hand. How many people are early risers? And how many people are late risers? Maybe you have to get up early for work, but if you had your choice, you'd be a late riser. Yeah. All right.
Speaking of getting up early for work, I work weekends, so I have to go.
Okay.
Really fun. Thank you so much.
3
for
glasses
doing
of
this.
wine and a whole bottle of water, so I have to go pee.
I've had to pee for like an hour.
Yeah, it's time for us to wrap up anyway. So one last time, thank you to everyone, the authors who worked so hard to make it fun for us, and all of you readers
Thank you, Violet and Heather.
who hopped in and investigated the crimes and made it fun. Thank you. Anybody who's watching online, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you figured out who it was. And definitely catch tomorrow's programming and then Sundays as well for some more fun things at this year's 10th anniversary of Coastal Magic Convention. Good night, all.
Everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.